I'm Michael Fox, and this is the Prospector News Podcast. And we're on location at the Current Trends in Mining Finance, put on by the New York chapter of the SME. And I have joining me here Shawn Khunkuhun, who is the CEO and president of Dolly Varden Silver. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's great to have you. For those that don't know about Dolly Varden, let's give them the corporate overview and, as I say, the elevator pitch as to who you are.
Sure. So Dolly Varden is a rare company amongst a small group of silver companies. We're located in the prolific Golden Triangle in northwest BC. We've got a project that used to be a producer, and what my team has done over the last 3 years is we've taken a small high-grade resource, we've tripled it through a transformative acquisition. We've had a lot of success on the discovery side with the drill bit, and we've had some big scientific breakthroughs. So we're a company today that is held by investors like Hecla Mining, Eric Sprott, institutions like Fidelity. My team has grown the company from a $20 million company that we took over 3 years ago to the $250 million company it is today. But as we look at the area and we see projects like Brucejack that are being acquired for $3 billion, or we look at the reawakening of the Eskay Creek mine, I think we are in about the third inning of the reawakening of the Dolly Varden Silver Project, with the one caveat that we could be onto a KSM or Brucejack type discovery. So there's a ton of exploration potential. We've got $26 million in the bank. We've just sent 5 drill rigs to the field. 4 of those rigs will be turning imminently. So we've got a target-rich environment. We've got one of the best technical teams in the business. We have supportive shareholders that are helping us move the company forward. And so I don't know if that was, this is a long elevator, right? We're going up to the 60th floor.
This is New York. The buildings are big.
That's right.
And the elevators, they can be slow. So that's good. That's a good elevator pitch for New York. 2022 was a busy year for Dolly Varden. You guys accomplished quite a bit of work and had some pretty good results. What were the highlights of 2022 that you'd like to share with everybody?
So the year started with a vote, which was the vote to acquire Homestake Ridge, which tripled our mineral inventory. So once we had Homestake, which essentially took our 4 deposits in the southern part of the property and it married it with 3 deposits in the north. So we consolidated a 15-kilometer trend. And the way this trend works is what we're finding is a repeating pattern of periodicity. With every 1.5 kilometers, there's another major deposit. So by bringing these 2 projects into one, there's a 5.5 kilometer gap that's never been explored, where we should increase the deposits from 7 to 10 within that gap. But really it was a year that was highlighted by the best gold intercept in the Golden Triangle. So we drilled 46 grams of gold over 25 meters at Homestake.
Wow. It
was a big hole. And then the other part of that was we had a silver hole. And this is a silver project that's been around for 100 years, in production. And we hit 1,500 grams of silver over 16 meters in hole 329. So we've had, a monster gold hit, monster silver hit. We've got already a very well-endowed project where if you look at our mineral resource estimates that were put out in 2019, we've got size, we've got grade, we're in a safe mining jurisdiction, but really it's a story where we're trying to wrap our arms around how big is this. Can we go from, the 140 million ounces of silver equivalent, is this going to be a 1 billion ounce silver camp? And if you look north and you see Premier, if you see Brucejack and you see Eskay Creek, those are great examples, and it's that same Eskay Rift event that brought the mineralization into those large projects that brought the mineralization into the Dolly Varden Silver Project. So it's exciting geology, and it's why we're able to captivate the market's attention. The company's growing in terms of market cap, share price, and so lots to look forward to as well this year.
Perfect. Let's look forward to this year. What's the plans and what are you hoping to achieve, and what type of theory are you working towards?
So what's interesting is, why we're having these breakthroughs is there's a blanket that covers the area. That blanket is referred to as a sedimentary cap. And the breakthrough that occurred was we drilled below the sedimentary cap and we found mineralization. So now we're following up on that success. And what's happening is some of these deposits that were confined to 300 or 400 meters in strike length, we're now doubling them, we're tripling them. So this is a year where my goal is we've got a 45,000 meter drill program, which is big for us. This is really big. And I look around at my peers that are drilling a tenth of this. So we got 4 rigs that will be turning 24 hours a day with the ability to go to 45,000 meters of planned. What success looks like for me is stepping out and increasing the strike lengths of these deposits. But what would also be very significant is if we could make some brand new deposit discoveries, but also joining some of these deposits. So we've got 2 highly rich silver deposits, the Wolf deposit and the past producing Torbrit mine, and there's about 1.5 kilometers that separates them. But I think there's a relationship based on the orientation and the dip of the mineralization and the grades. I think there's a relationship. So if we can show that it's actually one mineralizing system, first of all, that would really increase the ounce count. But I think we're also coming to a time in the Golden Triangle where we've seen so much M&A. And because we're not just a silver mine, we've got so much gold in the system, there's a lot of big gold companies that are coming up that are interested. So we've got some corporate competitive tension, and we're also finding that as the company's grown in size, some of the ETFs like the SIL, the SILJ have come in and bought about 10 million shares of the company, which has helped the share price appreciate. Silver's up about 40% since September of 2022. Our shares are up about 200%, so we're tracking quite nice, about a 5-to-1 outperformance of the actual metal itself. So there's nice leverage for our shareholders. But if we continue to make discoveries, and we continue to move forward in a disciplined manner, but in an aggressive manner in terms of the amount of capital we're putting into the ground. And it's just such a great area in terms of its prospectivity. I think we're going to continue to build upon the discovery success we had last year.
That's fantastic news. How many holes are you drilling over that 40,000?
Again, we come up with these exploration plans. We have these ideas where we're going to drill 125 holes and for 45,000 meters. What ends up happening is we deviate from these plans, because of success, because of failure. So sometimes we drill a hole deeper. So this is the overall plan. We might end the year with drilling 150 holes. But at this point, and the nice thing is we've actually got the treasury to increase the program quite significantly. So we're in really good shape. We've got a great team. We've got the targets. We've got the support of shareholders. And now it's just a time for the rubber to hit the road and get out there and come back with some assays in early summer.
Looking forward to that. The long-term plan, is it to bring this into a mine yourselves or to find somebody else to play with?
So, I've been working with mining companies for the last 20 years. And, I love leading teams. I love investing. And, for me, when I look at the stock market and I look at companies that are successful, it's all about growth. And so my vision when I took over this company 3 years ago, and the share price was around 20 cents, we had about a $20 million market cap, we had 44 million ounces in the ground. So my goal is increase that mineral inventory. I think silver is money, and I know Dolly Varden is silver, and I see us as a bank, and my goal is our bank balance is our mineral inventory in the ground. And as majors go out and they deplete their resources on a daily basis as they mine their deposits, they're going to need that next project to develop. So what I want to do is I want to leverage our capital into growing that mineral inventory so that when we're inevitably taken over, we're being valued on a per ounce basis. And when I took over this company, those ounces were trading at about 30 cents an ounce in the ground. Today they're trading at $1. In bull markets, silver companies will trade at $3, $4 an ounce. I think because of the grade of our project and because the fact that we're in Canada, a safe, stable mining jurisdiction, and so many of our peers are in Argentina or Bolivia, I think our ounces should trade at an even greater premium. So to answer your question, I have taken mines into production before. I'm happy to consider that, but for me, it all comes down to how do I make my shareholders money? And I think that the way to do that right now is by increasing that mineral inventory.
Wonderful. If people want to become shareholders or follow the company, how's the best way for them to do that?
So we've got a website, dollyvardensilver.com. We're active on all social media platforms. You can follow us at Silver Varden on Twitter. And then if you want to pick up the phone, I'm a pretty old school. I've got a toll-free number, 800-321-8564. Call me. We love talking to shareholders, and we love talking not just about Dolly Varden, but about the district, about the industry, and we love hearing from shareholders.
Perfect. It'd be exciting to see what the growth happens for 2023. It'd be nice to come back to this a year from now and find out about even huger successes for Dolly Varden.
I really hope so. Yeah.
I hope so too.
Thanks for having me.
Shawn.
Okay.
The Prospector News Podcast is for educational purposes only. The opinions expressed are those of the participants and are not to be taken as investment advice. Listeners need to do their own due diligence and seek advice of a licensed investment advisor.